guys, welcome. Hindsight, isn't it such a beautiful thing? Right, we've been in Ghana 3.5 years now. Looking back, what would we have changed? What would we have done different? A couple of things. I think the first thing for me is probably more of a personal thing. I would have documented my journey more. So having been in the UK, I would have started this YouTube channel there. Although when I started YouTube, I wasn't sure what this channel was about. I was kind of stabbing in the dark, but it's a bit more established now. So definitely I would have started it back then, and I would have gone through the process of us, having moved out of our home, having packed up boxes, trying to ship things, the frustrations we had back then, because obviously it's nice to document things as you're going through it rather than just telling a story as it's happened already, it's gone, it doesn't have quite the same effect. So definitely I would have started my YouTube channel earlier, but that probably doesn't apply to most of you, probably only me, and probably about another handful of people perhaps. The other thing I would have done, which I think is really important, is I would have tried to integrate into the Ghana community more. Even if you've been to Ghana before, moving here is very, very different. So you may know some people here already, but if you don't know anybody, it can be, if you're not careful, you can find yourself feeling a little bit isolated. So what I would advise you to do is, there are plenty of Facebook groups now. There are, people on Instagram that you can touch base with. I've made friends with people that I maybe have not even met yet, and so that's quite nice. So definitely I probably would have established some sort of community network so that when I do come here, I've got a better sense of, what's going on, that kind of thing. I definitely would have done that. The other thing I would have done is I would have given my children a sense of language, which I don't know why I haven't really, well, I do know why I haven't done that. For me, I understand Ewe, but I don't speak it. And I wish my parents had forced me to speak it when I was little, because when you're smaller, it's easier to pick up language. So I wish I'd given them that gift. I guess because I couldn't speak it, I haven't taught my children to speak it. Ideally, that would be good. It's something I'm now looking into because I really want them to be able to understand some Twi, some Ewe, try and speak. I want them to do both of those languages. Sorry, Ga, I don't know anything about Ga, but Twi and Ewe, definitely, I really want them to speak. So I would have given them that foundation before coming to Ghana so that then they could build upon it, because at the moment they don't really have anything to build upon because we only spoke English at home. So I think that's great. If you can get your children, even yourself, to learn some basics, yeah, it will really help you when you come here. It gives you favour as well with people that you meet here. If you try, and even if you say things that you say it wrong, people admire you for trying. They like it. They will favour you in certain things. So definitely I would have done. Hold on. I'll just look at my notes because I can't remember what else I wrote down. Yes. I also would have taken out a loan from the UK. Now, the reason I say taking out a loan from the UK is because a loan in the UK, you're talking maybe, if you've got a really good credit, maybe 5%. Even if you do 10%, even 15% right now, and 15% is crazy, right? 15% would be good, because in Ghana the loans here, you're looking probably between 18 and 30%, which is really, really, really high. And so it's just, I don't know how people work with loans here. I don't understand how you can sustain it. I guess to take a loan here, you'd have to know what you're doing. You'd have to know that you could probably turn it around quite quickly and use it for something good. But anyway, the reason I would take a loan is, what I would do is I would then use that loan to build a business here. Because even if you save money, you don't want your money to run out. So you're better off taking a loan from where you're from and stretching that loan for, say, 10 years. Just say off the top of my head, 10 years, and have your savings. And what you're basically going to do is you're going to use your savings to pay off your loan every month. And you've got 10 years with this money to do something and to turn it around, rather than having just savings and using your savings and injecting it into something and potentially a year or two down the line having your money run out. You don't want to do that. You want to always make sure the key to business and to life is having cash flow. So you really want to let your money keep flowing. You don't want to lock it up. Okay, then you definitely don't want to do that. So taking a loan, I would say, if you can, it's a really good idea to do that. So the last point I would do is start a business here. Now, we started with construction, and construction is a tough one to start. I would not advise it unless you are capitally capitally, when I say capitally, I just made up that word, capitally, unless you are really strong financially, basically, with your capital, because construction just pours and pours and pours. Unless you know you have the strength to do it, don't start it, because you may find that you'll get stuck, or it will take you a long time to do that project, and it's obviously not really until you sell or something, you haven't turned over your money. It's basically your money would be jammed for that time. So I would definitely advise you, if you're not strong enough, don't start with construction. I would start with some type of restaurant, and I would make it like a chop bar. So I'd literally get a container, I would do it up, and I would do some sort of food. Maybe the food would be like between 8 and 10 cities, or even 15 cities, you know, some of the really upper class meals, maybe 20 cities, you know. That is what I would do. You would get your money turning over. Maybe even barbering. I know there are loads of barbers around, but I would start with barbering, something like that, and I'd make it really nice. And maybe, you know, you do the nice, you know, when you wet the flannels and give them nice head massages, you know, just try and put little extra things in there to appeal to people to come to you. Now, the reason I would start these ones, even though it may not fulfill all the financial, whatever I need financially, basically. I'm getting really tongue-tied today. I don't know why. I'm a bit tired. I've been going to bed too late. So even though it may not provide for me fully financially, it's definitely a start, because businesses, obviously, they build over time. So if the business earns me even just 1,000 cities a month, that's 1,000 cities you didn't have before. It will pick up. If you keep working your business, it will pick up. So you're better off having that than, you know, living off your savings or something like that. Definitely start some type of business to keep your cash flow going. And remember, you don't have to have one business. You can have several businesses. You can get a container and sell pure water from that container. You can do it so that all your water's cold. People will come to you. You know, the small business, these are small business ideas that people are doing here. You don't have to be the one that's sitting there. You can find someone, employ someone to sit in it for you and just be taking your money. You do about 3 or 4 businesses, you'd be surprised. Before you know it, your money is turning over. That is definitely what I would advise if you're coming here. But I don't want the video to be this long, so I'm going to stop right there. If you have any questions, let me know. Comments, let me know. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, please. And don't forget to check out my website. I'm really trying hard to build on that. I'm trying to upload and do lots of behind the scenes work, not behind the work scenes. I'm trying to work on it as much as I can at the moment. So please do keep going back, checking it out for me. And yes, that's it. So comment below if you need to, guys. Until next time.